Well, this was built in 1977, but it came from the Great Lakes. It was from Cleveland.
Well, the flying's been going on. The first flying was in 1954 at Ottumwa, and it spent 3 years in Oskaloosa, and then back to Ottumwa, then 3 years in Bartlesville after it was here for a while, and then we've been back here since 90 or 91, I want to say.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Backroads channel with Mark and Rich. I'm Mark, and Rich is here. Pam, our videographer, is here with us also. And you can tell that the subject of this video is going to be about aircraft. We're not just talking any aircraft anymore. Some of these aircraft go back years and years and years. 70 plus years to be exact. And we've got a lot of things to bring you, a lot of things to talk about. So stay tuned right here to the Backroads channel with Mark and Rich. Okay, Ben, good to see you again. I know we keep running into each other all the time. Tell us about this event this year. Just a quick synopsis, how long it's been going on, what it is, what are we doing here?
Well, the flying's been going on. The first flying was in 1954 at Ottumwa, and it spent 3 years in Oskaloosa, and then back to Ottumwa, and then 3 years in Bartlesville after it was here for a while, and then we've been back here since 90 or 91, I want to say. This year we're a little light on attendance at the moment because there's been a bunch of bad weather down south and to the west of us. I know a handful of people that were coming up today that had to cancel because of weather, but we've got a really good quality batch of airplanes. There's a bunch of neat stuff here. There's some really rare stuff here, and everybody's having a great time. The new food vendor has been very popular. I recommend the gravy on anything.
Good to know. We'll check that out.
Everything's been going good, so.
Excellent. Wonder off the top of your head, highlight a couple of aircraft for us that you think is really unique. And
the blue and orange monocoop that's next to my monocoop is the only one in the world flying, and I believe it's the only one. It's one out of 5 or 6, I think, in existence. And then, of course, my airplane, the Baby Ruth, is it's pretty cool. It's the first of 7 built. And then the one next to it, the museum owns, it's the oldest. We saw it near the last couple of videos. It's the oldest monocoop in existence, and the last one built in Iowa. Then there's the Broussard that came in today is a French utility airplane from the Korean War era. It's kind of the French's version of a de Havilland Beaver, which is really popular in Canada and Alaska. What else is weird that's here?
Besides us.
Yeah, right. There's a couple really nice Wacos here. The blue and white one is Trevor Naminsky from the Racine area. He restored that himself. He's a young guy. The F2 Waco next to it's really neat. There's a V77 Stinson here from Indiana, I think. Don't quote me on that. I don't want to make that guy mad. The polished and red airplane behind us is the prototype of its model series when they were built in Colorado. It's a fresh restoration by our friends at Anderson Aviation down in Bate City, Missouri. They do phenomenal work. Yeah, there's a bunch of really neat stuff here. There's been some people have gone home because they have to go a long ways and get out in front of the weather. But yeah, we're having fun. We're going to have trivia tonight out in front of the pub at 8 or 8:30. I don't read the program. So
airplane trivia?
Yes. So, and a little bit of anti-airfield trivia. And then we were able to present the Charles Taylor Award for Ray Middleton, who is my buddy that was originally from England. The Charles Taylor Award is the Master Mechanics Award from the FAA. So it's 50 plus years of safe operation or safe maintaining of aircraft. So my dad got to present him with that, and it was a total surprise for Ray. So that was a really special moment for us. And I think we're doing another Wright Brothers Award tomorrow. I think Jason Glass from the FAA is coming down to present that award. So,
one thing, the aircraft, of course, is impressive just in and of itself. But one thing that really strikes me is just the incredible amount of passion that people have for their aircraft and just for aviation in general.
yeah, you see the same kind of passion with people with old cars and old tractors, and it's just old stuff in general, I think. And a lot of these guys are. There's a lot of guys gone right now that have gone over to Old Threshers today. So they fly over and they spend a day there. And then a couple of the guys are flying out of here and going to Davenport for the big motorcycle swap meet. But both things I would like to be able to go to, but I'm here trying to keep things going smoothly so everybody has a good time. So
How is everything going?
good. It's going really good. I got a great group of volunteers and that help us keep things running smooth and parking airplanes, and we couldn't do it without them. So they deserve all the credit. I just kind of help organize. So
Anything you'd like to add?
nope. Other than I'm ready for a beer.
I bet you are. Rich, you're up. Thanks a bunch.
No problem. No problem.
Tell me your name and where you're from.
Frank Gavednik from Dallas-Fort Worth area, Popwash Airport.
And you're a pilot, I'm assuming, by the plane here. How long have you been flying?
I've been flying I was here 49 years ago. I flew a Champion here. I was the youngest pilot at 16, and now I'm retired. So I did it at 16, now I'm 65.
Oh, so you did the math for me. I appreciate that.
I wish it was 50. Next year it'll be 50 years.
So how long have you had this aircraft?
Only 7 years. So I had it for 7 years.
Is this the only one you have?
No, it's the only one I have now. I kind of like to fly a variety, so I trade them in every once in a while, get something else.
So how long are you going to keep this one?
Kind of have it for if someone wants to buy it. It's for sale. I would like to. It's got the 7-year itch, so time to get something else.
Well, tell us just a little bit about the aircraft.
Well, this was built in 1977, but it came from the Great Lakes. It was from Cleveland. And they started in, I believe it was 1929. Of course, they went out of business during the Great Depression, but then they started making it again in 77. They have a production line, plus they have an experimental line too. So you can buy it experimental, you can buy it certified. And this is a certified airplane. And now they're being produced by Waco is making them. And someone keeps buying the rights to make it. So it's been on and off production since 1928, I believe.
How old is this one?
This one was 77. I'm not going to do the stage math. 30, about 50.
But with double wings,
Yeah.
biplane?
Yes.
That's what
yes.
it's called?
Yes.
Is this the first biplane you've had?
No, I had a Waco biplane, and I kind of, after 9/11, I downsized. The other one this one burns half the gas, and the gas is a big expense.
Well, so like everything else.
Yeah,
Sure.
and gas and insurance, but I had a bigger one, but now I got a little one.
Now, do you do any kind of commercial flying, or are you just a private pilot
I was a commercial pilot for American Airlines, and I retired in April. So now I'm doing it's hard to give it up. So, so this is my hobby now.
So how did you get into antique? Why the antiques?
Well, I was actually my older sister was dating someone that was doing this kind of stuff. So I went out, and I was like 14 or 15, and they had a grass runway, and I would go mow the runway and wash all the airplanes, and they taught me to fly and never kind of quit.
So this brings back a lot of memories,
Yeah,
the grass strip and all.
Yes. I love the grass strip. It's nice. A lot of times there would be bluebonnets or flowers and be like landing in wildflowers. It's kind of cool.
So what do you think your next aircraft's going to be?
I like the white one right there. It's a Gullwing Stinson, something that's inside. I flew, it was raining on the way up here, and I got a little wet and a little cold, because it gets colder as you get higher, and it's actually pretty cold come up here. So I was kind of shivering when I got here. So a non-convertible would be nice.
So what would be the altitude for a plane like this?
This, you can go up to 10,000 feet, but it's like 6,000 feet, like a mile up. basically.
And you raise a good point too, because it is an open cockpit, and with the weather, what does rainy weather, cold, and all that do to the instrumentation?
It's the airplane doesn't really kind of know it. The rain goes by you, so you kind of stay dry. But when you stop, you get wet. You get gas, and that's kind of the hard part. So stopping is the hard part. The raining's not too bad.
So how long a flight was it down here?
Well, I had to do 3 stops, and it was about 6.5 hours. It was 700 miles.
So that's not bad. Plan to be here again next year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
As long as keep my ticker going and my bones not creaking and stuff.
Well,
Nowadays,
ticker.
you asked me about the airplane I want. I got to be able to step on the wing and get in it. That's the problem now. I used to be able to get in anything. And a lot of these old airplanes, you have to be pretty limber to get in and out of them.
Yeah, these don't look like they'd be really easy to get in and out of.
No, they're not. Got to be an acrobat a little bit.
I can see why you'd want to go to something a little bit bigger, but still a beautiful aircraft for sure.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Pleasure owning it.
Anything else you'd like to throw in that maybe we didn't cover?
No, thanks for coming on out and enjoy the weekend. It's a good time here at Blakesburg, Iowa at the Antique Airplane.
Hi, how are you? What's your name and where you're from?
Kenneth Dye from Columbus, Ohio.
How long have you been coming here to the fly-in?
It's my 5th time with this airplane. So,
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the aircraft.
well, I've owned it for 20 years, and it's a ex-military airplane converted to civilian. And so they built 500 of these, and they're like a executive transport utility airplane for the Army Air Force back in the 40s, late 40s. So, but it's real easy to fly. So,
So this plane dates back to about the 40s?
44, yeah. This one does 44, yeah.
Okay. Why this particular plane? Out of all the antique aircraft that you see here, you particularly have a penchant for this one?
Well, what happened? I saw this airplane. Probably 25 years ago. I go, boy, really like to have that. You know, it just caught my eye, and so about 5 years later, whatever it was, I bought a Mega Millions ticket, and I carried it around in my pocket for probably about a year. I said, well, I'm going to fill this out, and so I better check it. And I checked it, and I had all the numbers except for the mega ball. So that, so
One number.
yeah, and so that was like, price is $250,000, and it says, I couldn't believe it, still can't believe it. So I went out and bought this airplane, paid cash for it. That was thanks to the lottery.
Do you plan to keep this plane, or are you like one of the other pilots we talked to a little bit ago? You kind of get a plane, keep it for a little while,
Yeah.
trade it off, and just swap every now and again?
No, I'm done doing that. This is my ultimate, you know. So I'm going to keep it for as long as I can fly, I guess. So see what the FAA says about that. Not that I have any health issues, but that I know of.
Yeah, that we could all say that.
right, yeah. Pretty lucky.
Are you a pilot by trade?
No, I got my commercial ticket, instrument, all that stuff, but I'm a retired air traffic controller. So I was with the FAA for about about 30 years, turning airplanes. So mostly out in Boston there for 20 years, and in Cleveland, and before that, Youngstown. So
So you did that job in Boston, and yet you're talking about your ticker still being good. That's pretty good from what I hear about the stress that goes with an air traffic controller.
well, maybe many years ago, but now everything's so sliced and diced up, it's cut up, or you don't really handle so many, too many airplanes by yourself. So it's, it's pretty cut up. So, but it's safe, but stuff happens, So
Yeah, indeed it
that's why you're
does.
there.
So what got you interested in, let's say, vintage aircraft other than just a modern day craft?
My dad's cousin had a Cessna 170, which was a early 50s airplane. So there's a couple of them over here. So he took me for a ride in it as a kid, and I go, wow, I'd like to have something like this. So here I am, pretty lucky.
And plan to keep doing it for a while.
I hope so, yeah. I just turned 45, so no. Plus 30.
Yeah, and I just had my 39th, yeah.
But I'm early 70s, so I don't know. We'll see. As long as the FAA give me my physical and stuff. So, but I guess it'll be in my estate. I don't know. We'll see.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, thanks for talking with me.
You
I
bet.
hope-
We'll let you get back to what you were doing. Gorgeous aircraft.
Thank you. It's a real privilege to have it.
How are you? What's your name and where you're from?
Greg Winiger in northwest of Wichita, Kansas, 30 miles.
So how long did it take you to get up here?
3.5 hours.
That's a pretty good flight.
Yes, it's a nice, easy flight. No mountains or anything like that.
So how many years has aviation been in your background? And have you got any commercial flying that you do, or is this just a hobby for you?
Just a hobby. My dad was a pilot off the farm, so I kind of picked it up early. Then he bought us an airplane we could use to take flying lessons. So by the time I was 21, I had my pilot's license, but just a hobby.
So you've been flying for quite a while. What are some of the planes you like to fly?
Oh, I have this Cessna 170. I've had it 10 years. It's been a great plane. Before that, I had a two-seat Aeronica Champ for 27 years, but you know, they're slow, 80 mile an hour, so I never went anywhere. So I've really enjoyed using this airplane. I've been to Florida, Phoenix, and Wisconsin.
So you've been around. Have you been to the Oshkosh show by any chance?
Yeah, I was able to go in 2018 with this airplane and 2021 in this airplane.
Okay, tell us a little bit about the aircraft that you have here.
It's a 1952 Cessna 170B. Of course, it was built right in Wichita, Kansas, and they're a decent airplane. Not maybe a little short on power. It's supposedly 4 seats, but you know, if 4 people get in there, you need a real long runway. So it's probably a 3-place airplane, really. But it's a good, fun airplane. Cruises 110 mile an hour, so you can go places if you're not in a big hurry, but you can fly it for fun, like here. And so they're good airplanes.
What's about its altitude limit?
Oh, I've had it when I went to Phoenix. I went to 11,000 feet, and so 11, 12. It might go to 12. I got it to 11,000 that day.
So from where you're from to Phoenix, how long a flight was that?
I did make that in a day. I left early in the morning when the sun was coming up, and I got down there about 4 in the afternoon. Of course, I gained an hour because of the time change. So it was 7 in the morning to 5 o'clock if you don't count the time change. And I had two fuel stops.
So this was kind of a Sunday drive compared to some of the other flights you've been on.
Yes, it really is. This is easy. Yeah.
How long have you been coming here?
Started coming in 2020, and I've came every year since I started.
What's special about this?
Oh, I don't know. It's laid back. It's enjoyable. We visit the 170 guys. I've got to know these guys from Iowa, which I would have never known if I didn't come up here. So it's just, I met a guy with a steerman from Indiana. Met him in the tavern. He likes a little beer, and I don't mind a little beer now and then. So he's from Indiana with the yellow steerman. Met him. Would have never met him if I didn't come here. So that's what it's about.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's all.
Hi. Tell us your name and where you're from.
My name's Jim Schreier, and I'm from Fort Dodge, Iowa, about 1 hour in this airplane northwest of here.
Okay. You said this airplane. What airplane have you got here, and how long have you had it?
This is a 1955 Cessna 170B, and I've had the airplane for about 10 years. I found it down in Texas.
So how long have you been flying?
Oh, I started flying back in 1968.
And what was the first craft that you flew?
A Cessna 150, and I took my instruction while I was going to summer school in college.
Now, did you have a career in aviation, or is this just a hobby for you?
No, I retired as a commercial pilot, and I did not the airlines, but I was in corporate aviation.
So you flew a lot of interesting aircraft there, I'm sure, but you're into more antique aircraft now. What really got you interested in the old aircraft?
Well, I'm old and this is old, so it pretty much fits the bill, but I have more of an interest. This is actually in the classic time frame instead of antique. But if I can live a few more years, maybe then we can go to antique.
Okay, I wasn't aware that there was a difference. Tell me about that.
Well, it's all in the age of the aircraft. Yeah, this fits into the classic mode yet.
50s would be classic. 40s would probably be classic.
Yeah, 40s. Well, there are many categories, but when you get into the airplanes that are here at this location, you're going to get into the 40s, more into the antiques, and the 50s are the classics. If you just make it simple. They've got an actual time frame and date on it, but I'm not smart enough to know that.
This is close enough for our purposes. How long have you been coming here?
Been coming here for at least 10 years when I've had this airplane. Before that, we had a skydiving event for about 35 years where I live, and we always work that as a group we had at the airport called Plane Crazies. And so we worked that, and until that folded, then I was available to come here.
So what do you find special about this event here?
Well, it's back to the basics is what this is all about. And as you know, or maybe you haven't seen it, but painted on the side of that hangar up there, it says "Keep the Antiques Flying."
And what do you enjoy most about this particular craft?
Well, this airplane is unique. There's no airplane that you can get in a classic tailwheel airplane that has this much room and is this comfortable to fly. And it actually is an easy airplane to fly.
So how many aircraft have you owned in the course of your aviation career?
Well, I've owned, I think, 6 airplanes, and this is the one that my wife will become an airplane salesman.
So you don't see yourself in any other aircraft but this one now?
Not really. There's nothing that does as comfortable as what this airplane does for us. We don't go long distances, but it's probably a very highly sought after airplane. This airplane will be very easy to sell when the time comes.
Great day. Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, thank you very much for coming out and making sure that you tell all the people in the country about how good these airplanes are.
Tell us your name and where you're from.
Michael Tyndall. I'm from Milford, Iowa, which is up northwest Iowa near the Lake Okoboji.
So it would take by car, what, 3.5 hours?
4.5 hours to get down here. For my wife actually driving down as we speak. So
how long did it take you in this?
right at 2 hours. So I'm about an hour kind of northwest of him, and then he's actually right on the line of me. I flew right over his airport, so we known each other for quite a few years, and so we kind of rendezvoused each other. I flew over his airport, and we set a time, and then we flew down together. So
yeah, that's kind of cool. And events like this, I imagine, with events like this and the crafts that you own, you probably have quite a few contacts in this community.
Oh yeah, I have been here. I've been coming here about 20 years, so I've gotten to know quite a few of the people. There used to be a very large contingent that came out of California, Minnesota area, and then up by Broadhead up in Wisconsin. So, and then another contingent of people down Freeport. They don't come as much as they used to, but yeah, I've got to meet a lot of nice people and stuff. And I kind of met Jim originally through this airplane. I knew of him. I knew he flew for somebody in my area as a corporate pilot. And then when he bought his airplane, I bought mine shortly after that. And so we've gone to fly-ins and stuff together. And I've been coming down here 20 years. So again, it's just a fun, nice, relaxing environment. And
now, is aviation in your background? Have you done that for a living? Or?
No, I have not. I was a chiropractor for most of my career, and then I've always enjoyed. I was a kind of kid when I hear an airplane go overhead, I would look up and watch it, and I always wanted to get my pilot's license, and never really knew how to go about it. And I think it was I was 38, and I got to be friends with a guy that was a pilot, and he ran the airport in Iowa Falls, Iowa, and he said, "I heard you want to be a pilot, and let's start lessons." And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's how and I wish I would have done it earlier. And then I've always been interested in anything, antique furniture, antique airplanes, and I've owned 6 airplanes. I had a Fairchild 24 before this, and I've had a Piper Decathlon and a Piper Dakota. So, but
you bought several different aircraft to this particular show.
Oh yeah, several aircraft. Like I said, at least 6 over the years. And like I said, I've owned this roughly 10 years. So I've been bringing this lately. I brought the Fairchild here for about 10 years too, and then sold it, and then got this. So,
Think this will be your last aircraft?
oh yeah, probably. I'd like to talk him into getting a Champ or something small just to fly around, because my Fairchild was a stick airplane, and I like the stick. So, we'll see. So I might. If I came across a good buy on a Champ, I'd probably get a Champ or something, but something to bust around in. But this fits it really well. I really enjoy this, and being a bigger guy, I got plenty of room. It's got the reason I sold the Fairchild. It had a Warner on it. It's very rare engine, and was getting hard to get parts for, and so it went up to went up to Broadhead, which is a huge antique community. I don't know if you heard of Broadhead.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so it's that's where it's been since I sold it. But this has a Continental 145 in it. They made thousands of these motors, so it's still easy to get, fairly easy to get parts, and everything's very easy airplane to work on. So it allows me to be in a tail dragger, and I like the polished look, so I had to look for a while to get this. This one came out of St. Louis, out of the Creve Coeur area. So I finally found it, and it was all redone. The interior's really beautiful, and I bought it as it is.
Is this the original paint job on it?
I
you spruced it up, or
I don't think it's original paint. I think it's the original color and stuff, but it's always been a polished airplane. So, and it's always been red that I know of. So yeah.
So yeah, and you mentioned it too. This is what they call a tail dragger.
Correct.
We've seen several of those. Is there a particular advantage to those? I mean,
No.
You guys seem to like them.
Well, they're just the older classics before they went to the tricycle gear. They're a little harder to land. They're a little trickier, especially on pavement because your center of gravity is different. So just like the old airplanes and like the look of it. I mean, it's a pretty sleek looking airplane. So
It's beautiful.
yeah.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, unless you got any other questions.
No,
So.
I don't think I do.
Radio flyer. Wow.
Glimpse of silver in the sky. What is that I see? A memory flies on by of what used to be. Oh, they are coming home. They dance a ballet in the air, each with a tale to tell, a story of courage and care, ringing like a bell. Oh, they are coming home.
Well, we certainly hope you're enjoying this tour of a lot of the classic and vintage aircraft that you can see here. We've certainly had a good time, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There will be many more planes coming. There's still a lot of things to show you yet. We'll do that in part 2. So be sure to like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. It helps the channel immensely, and it keeps us bringing videos like this to you. We appreciate your viewership. Thank you very much. And please tune in for part 2.